The most alarming and the most dangerous news which is coming out today about the Israeli-Iran conflict is a comment from an alleged comment from Shoigu, the Russian defense minister, who apparently has suggested that should Israel attack Iran, then Russia would be part of the response. Now, the question really is, what can Russia sling at Israel in practical terms? Probably not that much. It's rather more about the ideological change, because it means that Israel is now part of that Western alliance and Russia and Iran are part of the anti-Western alliance, and this division is becoming more entrenched. And of course, it also means that the Russian-Ukrainian war is now getting tied up with the Iran-Israeli-Gaza war, which in many ways perhaps one could have anticipated. I find it astonishing that Shoigu should make this statement, given the serious links between Israel and Russia and the huge Russian population within Israel and the attempts by the Russian regime to court Israel. Russia has granted or turns a blind eye to a lot of the activity that Israel conducts in Syria. So, for example, another Iranian leader and another Iranian soldier was killed this morning in Syria. And Israel's gung-ho approach to this, not answering the telephone to Western leaders, suggests that Israel is determined to push ahead with a military action in Iran sooner rather than later, and then afterwards will have its conversations. This is how Israel tends to work. Or at least this is how Netanyahu tends to work. And Netanyahu, as we know, is this self-assured pugilist who has already taken Israel seriously to the brink of pariah state. It's a great shame because Israel has a great deal to offer to the Middle East, and its relationship with, for example, Saudi Arabia and Jordan was seriously improving. Indeed, Israel and Saudi Arabia have a common interest in the Yemen conflict, I suppose, and that may persuade the Saudis to support Israel's attack on Iran. As for the downing of drones the other night, it was in the interests, of course, of Saudi Arabia and Jordan and Iran to stop the drones landing on their territory. There's a lot of reports coming in of people who were caught in Jordan and witnessing the drones flying overhead and the debris falling to the ground in the streets. It must have been particularly terrifying. And I'm not sure what can be done now to try to pull Israel back from the brink of escalating this conflict, because this is moving into a tit-for-tat situation. Except, of course, to point out the brittleness of the Iranian regime and the brittleness of the Russian regime. These are two regimes that are forced into continuing this game because they have very few other options. And what perhaps is equally disturbing is that is the position of the present Israeli regime as well. 3 countries that have little alternative but to continue their war games. And I don't know what pressure can be put, I don't know what diplomatic pressure can be put on any of them to pull back from the brink.